One of the issues I'm having with this setup is the rack and pinion. So with the Speed Engineering headers on here, which I've purchased, they come too far out for me to get the shaft to that, or the steering column shaft to that U-joint. So this is the shaft that goes in there, and I need it to come up just like this, but with the Speed Engineering headers on there, there's no room for the shaft to fit in there. I'm okay with having to notch the frame a little bit, but even with notching it, there was not going to be enough room. So my friends at Secondhand Power in Memphis, Tennessee gave me a set of shorty headers from Speed Engineering, or they allowed me to try them for an S10 pickup. The problem I have with that is it comes down and it's set too close to the cross member there, so there's no clearance there. So what I have come up with is a set of iron manifolds that are going to go on. They're going to bolt up, they're a rear outlet, and that's going to give me just enough clearance that I can make a bracket to run my shaft up and get a Heim's joint on there to hold it in place. So that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to unbox these headers, or these exhaust manifolds, and then go ahead and get this one installed and see what kind of clearance we've got. I ordered these from Summit Racing. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what we got here. It's got ball flange style fittings here. They've already got the O2 sensor bung on them. That's a pretty heavy flange. Got both sides. Got some hardware here. Let's see what we got. So let's get one of these opened up. Take a look. So this is the passenger side one. And these have already been ceramic coated. I got them in black. So this is the passenger side manifold. Looks good. And they are ceramic coated inside and out. That's nice. So there's the passenger side manifold. And here's the driver's side manifold. They're heavy. They are cast iron, but that's fine with me as long as they do what I need them to do. Let's try bolting one of these up and see how it goes. So let's start by installing the driver's side one, which is the one that I'm having issues with. I can tell right now that I have room and I have play, so we are set. So what I'm going to do for the truck show is I'm going to make a bracket that I'm going to bolt to the back of the head to hold the Heim joint for this, but just looking at that, I'm good. So there's the manifold on. Got the extension pipe on there, and it's not super tight. It's good enough for what I need. But I have clearance now down to the rack and pinion. So I can take the shaft and I can get it in there, and I have room. there's quite a bit of play back and forth. So I am going to be good. Let's go ahead and do the other side and get that one put on and call it a day. Here's the passenger side manifold. These are ceramic coated, even on the inside. It's got the ball style flange. They're heavy, but they're cast iron, so I have to make a bracket that I can use to put this through to hold this in place to where I can tighten this down and keep the steering column in one place, and that way I'll be able to turn the wheels. I've got an idea for this, so we just need to make a bracket, and I think right there is probably going to be good. And then eventually I'll probably make something that bolts to the frame that'll hold it. But looking at this, the way this is set up, depending on how I make a bracket, I don't think I'm even gonna have to notch the frame. I won't know until I get a cab and a steering column, but for right now, I think I can make a bracket that's gonna make this work. If anybody's using Tinworks front suspension kit with rack and pinion and you're using an LS, there are clearance issues with the frame rails and headers. These manifolds are Summit manifolds. The part number is G9084 Bravo. They make a couple different, I think you can get it natural. You might be able to get it in silver. I chose the black. I think that's what the B stands for. But they fit. They give you adequate room to run your steering linkage. So if anybody's looking at doing this, there you go. The only other thing that I think might have to happen down the road is I think I may have to move this back. I did not want to set it all the way back. I've got adjustment. I can probably come back another inch. I did not want to set that up until I got the cab on here. So after the show, we will be looking at trying to get the cab on here, because I don't know if I'm going to have to do any work on the firewall before I put in patch panels or anything. But if I have to make some clearance, it's custom. That's what we're going to do. So what I'm doing now is I need to make a bracket. I'm going to use this. I already got a piece of tape. Got to notch the end of it and drill 2 holes. I'm going to put a bolt here and a bolt here to be able to mount this and have it come out. And this is just temporary, so that I can put a Heim joint in for my steering shaft. So right now I'm going to go in, I'm going to drill these 2 holes, and then I'm going to cut it off and clean up the end of it to get it to bolt up. Okay, I think we should be good there. So let's start by getting that one started, and then that fits just like that. So now I need to figure out how far out that needs to come for the hinge joint. Okay. So if I notch this right there, grab them. Thought I had a marker here, but I guess I do not. So if I mark and I cut this to bend like right here, that should get me where I need to be. All right, so my bracket is done. I painted it. Just put a quick coat of paint on it so that it looked halfway decent. That's about halfway in between the two. And this is just temporary. This setup, this is just to have some way of holding the steering. The only other thing I need to do is I need to figure out how I'm going to work this end. I was thinking about welding the timing sprocket out of the motor on there and put the chain on it, but that's not going to work. So for right now, it will work with the crescent wrench. One of the issues I had is I had the Speed Engineering headers on here with 3-inch collectors. They would not work. I could not get clearance. I tried another set of headers. My friend Ben at Secondhand Power in Memphis, Tennessee gave me one for an S10 to try. The only problem is where it came out, it was going to hit the cross member before I could get the pipe to go back. So I ordered these exhaust manifolds off of Summit Racing. They're already ceramic coated inside and out, and they have a 2.5-inch outlet, and they came with stainless steel collectors that already have the O2 bungs on them, and they work. So this is where we're at, and this is how I'm going to have to do it. So anybody putting rack and pinion on one of these trucks, when the rack and pinion goes to the inside of the frame, you're going to have to do something like this. Even if I notched this, I would still have a clearance issue. I don't know if another brand of setup would work better. Not sure, but with the Tinworks fabrication front cross member and rack and pinion, that's the only way I was able to get it to work. So should be good to go. This is a temporary bracket. This bracket will not be used whenever I do the final setup. I'll come up with something more permanent. This was just to have something to be able to move the truck around and have some steering on it. So that's where we're at.